Mm. Welcome to Whispers. Amnesty for bandits and killer-herdsmen. It is a question new. Amnesty for bandits and killer-herdsmen. What? These times are remarkable for anxiety, pain, and fear. Nigeria has been dragged to the theater of absurd. What is wrong with the supposedly giant of Africa? In the breath, wrong solutions are being proposed as remedies to protracted security problems. The correct response is being avoided. Nigeria is being turned upside down. It is fast becoming a rude joke. Why should this important country be a laughingstock in the international community? In another dimension, as the country intersects with problems rising from its defective federalism and under-policing, ridiculous treatment are being prescribed for its structural ailments. Yet, the truth must never be told about events. It is considered as ethnic profiling. It is forbidden. Even if the reality stares all in the face, killer-herdsmen and bandits are not Igbo, Kanuri, Yoruba, Ijo, Hausa, Nupe, or Jukun. Their tribe should never be mentioned. After all, the culprits are suspects. The bloodletting notwithstanding, the allegation has not been proved in any court of competent jurisdiction. But to discerning Nigerians, it is evident that in the 21st century Nigeria, a particular ethnic nationality has turned insecurity into business. The prank this time around is from an unexpected quarter. Justices are advising the federal government on how to pacify criminals troubling the peace of the nation. A clever person as a human rights crusader has proposed an answer to the prevailing banditry in the Northwest. But to observers, he is void of logic, and no basis can be found for it in history, religion, law, and even logic. Where in the history have government and people beckoned on armed robbers for a parley? Which law will encourage an exchange of ideas and opinions with these? Can bad elements who enjoy obtaining ransom from their captors turn a new leaf except by force? It is noteworthy that the curious suggestion is not even a call for the replica of the Northeast Development Commission in the Northwest. Some elements are systematically canvassing increased federal allocation to the geopolitical zone without a sound and convincing argument. In Nigeria, there is usually more emphasis on how revenue should be shared and not how the revenue should be generated. According to the cleric, who has the ears of the bandits, killers, and unprovoked masters of violence, amnesty is the antidote to banditry. Therefore, the federal government should consider giving amnesty to national tormentors holding the beleaguered country to ransom. In other words, criminals, rapists, kidnappers deserve compensation for their nefarious activities. For targeting rural areas where rural people practicing farming and for blocking the highways to cause commotion and panic for travelers. What should precede the amnesty program, in the opinion of the proponent, is dialogue by government with the men of the underworld. It becomes more problematic as some northern politicians had suggested that the bandits are a mixture of Nigerians and illegal immigrants from neighboring countries. The priest had taken it upon himself to, according to reports, visit the bandits in the forest. It was a risky venture, but it returned unharmed. It was also reported that the bandits who welcomed the cleric in their hiding place with open arms were not willing to listen to the government. It is not certain whether the visitor to the den of banditry in the northwest had sought to legitimize the inexplicable activities of the bandits. The details of the interaction or conference in the bush appears sketchy, but as a person who seems to understand the language of those spoiling for war without a rational reason, he also seems to have an Herculean task of convincing the government about the need to indulge kidnappers, killers, faceless criminals through financial reward. The type of gesture yet to be extended and which will never be extended to even identifiable legitimate agitators. It would appear that the objective of the amnesty program is beyond the ken and comprehension of some people. It is not a tool of cowardice and a sort of appeasement for armed robbers. The amnesty program has a background. Some South boys were said to have stormed Abuja to protest. They were at the Federal Capital Territory for the first time. According to the story, they were captivated by the beautiful environment. Then, someone raised their consciousness to the fact that the bulk of resources used to develop the city occurred from the old domiciled in the rustic towns and villages in the coastal region. They were also told that Abuja had become a beautiful place at the expense of the oil-rich but poor Niger Delta. Although these village boys were semi-literators, according to their accounts, they were dejected. They lamented the deprivation, ecological disaster, flooding, loss of their fishing occupation and farmlands, oil spillage, and general environmental denigration. The South boys had gone up north and returned with information and enlightenment. Their eyes were opened to years of neglect, exploitation, and marginalization of the goose that lays the golden egg. They began a special human and environmental rights battle. The battle for the redress of justice and wealth redistribution grew in leaps and bounds. The military tried to suppress it with force. It failed. Soon, the protesting youth started to deal with perceived military collaborators. It backfired. Protest leaders were apprehended, jailed, and hanged. Although the military, which ordinarily brooked no opposition, had to set up Umpadak to cater for the oil-producing region, the agitations intensified. The civilian government inherited the South-South crisis. Oil pipes were destroyed and the country suffered from fuel crisis. Highways were blocked. Protests became a veritable career. The onus was on the late President Umaru Yar'Adua to dissect the problems and accede to the demand of the oppressed zone for improved welfare. Earlier, the concession of 13% derivation had been granted. Also, the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) was established by his predecessor. Yar'Adua created the Ministry of Niger Delta in September 2008. Despite all this, the youth continued their protests for resource control and federalism. Thus, in August 2009, Yar'Adua established the Amnesty program. The objective was clear. In 11 years, the justification is evident. Under the program, the Creek boys had been disarmed, demobilized, and reintegrated into the society. Government succeed in mopping up arms and weapons of over 20,192 ex-agitators, all bunkering also reduced. There is a huge difference between unprovoked criminal activities of bandits in the Northwest and legitimate agitations of South South youths. Niger Delta boys restricted their agitations to the South zone. Unlike killer-herdsmen going to all the zones to grab land, kidnap, rape, and kill. Whenever the South boys kidnapped oil workers, mostly white expatriates, they took responsibility. Their leaders were identifiable. Government knew that it was negotiating with militants, agitating for more funding and infrastructural facilities in the Niger Delta. Are there oil exploration or prospective causing environmental denigration or pollution in the Northwest, as it is observed in the South? Is Northwest suffering the same terror attacks like the Northeast? What are the bandits after? Niger Delta militants were fighting not against Nigerians but against the government. But the bandits are attacking innocent people at home, on the farm, and on the road. The puzzle is, what do the bandits want? What do they want? Banditry has become a viable economic activity. Bandits kidnap for ransom. Where did they get the guns from? Who are the people supplying them the arms? What is the agenda of their sponsors? This and many more needs to be answered. Then you have it, guys. Amnesty for bandits and killer-herdsmen. Like, seriously? Until I come your way again. Bye.